decide yet.
Perfect. All right. We are live. Replay viewers, you know I love you. Please come and make it, leave a comment. Let us know you were here so we can circle back and say hello. And if you are ready to hear Behind the Book with Nereeda McInnes, definitely stay tuned and share out to your friends who you know want to do some writing as well. And yeah, this is real life. My baby's crying in the background, but I swear my husband is here.
This is real life.
My husband's theoretically there taking care of her. And you know what? I'm not going to micromanage, so it's all good.
It's all good.
What would a Facebook Live be without a crying baby in my house? I mean, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't
you've got 4 kids, so.
Exactly. Okay, I am going to go ahead and share this out on a friend's timeline. We're going to hit up Nereeda's group. I don't know if it's going to let me hit your author timeline, but can I share it to your personal and you can share it out to your author afterward?
Sure.
All right, cool. Alrighty, so thank you so much for being here, Nereeda. I really appreciate it. I loved your book because we got to work with your book from what felt like very early on in the stage. And I felt like I grew as a person just in walking through the editing and the publishing phases of your book. So thank you for sharing this journey with us, and thank you for taking this time to reflect back on your journey with us. So welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here, Morgan. Thanks for having me. It was an awesome ride, and it's still going, let's be honest.
That is the truth. So speaking of the truth, why don't you tell us a little bit about your book? And if you have your book with you, we'd love to see it too.
So here it is. Thank you. It's live. It's real. It's called The Truth of Your Reality. Insights on the game of life and how you choose to play it. And it is a book that is basically about your reality. We all have our own reality, our own perspective on life. And that's pretty much the whole thing about the book, really. That's why I write, because I'm better at writing than speaking. But it really is. It's about defining what the truth of your reality is for you and what it looks like for you, what's working, what isn't working, and to question things, to stay curious, and to make the most of the life that you are living right now.
Yes, absolutely. And just hearing you talk about it makes me just like so excited, because I believe so much in your message that, I mean, it's in either the subtitle or the book description, you know, playing the game of life your way. And I really think the more we embrace this idea of the game of life, the more fun it is. Yes. And honestly, the better we do.
Yeah, totally. If, you know, the way I see it is that life is a bit of a game, and how you choose to play it is completely up to you. So I guess the question that really remains is, how will you play? And you've always got that choice. You can be a victim or a survivor. You can be positive, negative. We all have to go through things in life, but it's making a choice in any given moment how you will choose to live your life. And I think that's the most powerful thing that we have, is choice. So, yeah, and also to learn and grow. There's so much in the book that how I see life, but really I want to encourage the reader to, how do they see life? What is it that makes sense for them? So, yeah. Hopefully that made sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so when did you know that you wanted to write this book?
Well, look, the truth is, of my reality, I've always wanted to write a book. That's been something that I've always wanted to do. I've always written. I loved creative writing. I haven't been trained formally, but for me, it's really cathartic, and I love it. And I'd written a lot of things along the way, and this book is something that I was growing inside of me until one day I got the call, the instinct. It's like, now it's the time. It's the time to write this and to bring everything that I'd learned so far in my life together and put it into a book format. So did that answer the question?
Yeah. And then yes. How long do you think it was between when you really had that like gut check, like I am going to write a book? So how long was it between that moment and the moment where you actually committed to doing the writing and writing that first draft?
Sure. Well, I think two things happened. I was writing the book and I'd put it out there, yep, I'm writing this now. And then I came across a video with you, Morgan, where you had said something that I say to people, my clients all the time. It's like, you need to decide. You need to put a date on when you're going to get this done and do it. Otherwise, it's not really a goal. It's more of a wish type thing. So I was like, righto, I will set a date to this. So I got in contact with you and you said, well, you're not ready yet. You need to have something to send through. So I had chapters, but I hadn't completed it. So I set myself a date. I went, right, I'm going to get that to Morgan by that date. And I did. And you were like, hey, you did. You got it through. So it was awesome.
Totally did. You totally did. So you told people about the book. Like, did you tell other people, like in your life, that you were writing a book?
I've never been that type of person to share a lot of my life. Not so much a lot of my life, but more so sometimes if you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, so I'm on two minds with those sort of things. So I just thought, no, I've just got to do this. So I didn't sort of shout it from the rooftops, but I've never been a shout it from the rooftops kind of person anyway. So I just got in and sunk my teeth into it, so to speak. And then as it got closer, then I felt more confident to let people know about it. Yeah.
And you had an existing platform, like you had an existing sort of business that you were hoping this book would build and grow. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, to be truthfully honest, I didn't write the book for credibility. I didn't write it for anyone else, but I wrote it for myself, and I had a message that I really wanted to share. And it was just, the timing was right, and I needed to get that out there. Everything else that happened is an absolute bonus. And of course, I love that it's getting out there and people are loving it. But yeah, so I'm very lucky. I have a beautiful, amazing community of people who receive an email from me once a week, and they are so supportive. I'll send out a survey to them, ask them questions, and they're like-minded. They look at life in a similar way. And so when I got to share the book with them, the response was just amazing, overwhelming even.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
So how did you start to bring together that list of people that you send an email to once a week?
Well, I started a business from scratch the day after I left my corporate paying job.
Oh my God.
And working full time for 17 and a half years. And then I just started my job, my business from scratch the day after with a mortgage and just my long service leave. That was nearly 3.5, 4 years ago now. So hopefully I'm doing something right that I'm still here doing it. And just along the way, people have, subscribed to my newsletter at nereedamcInnes.com, or they have connected with me on social media, or I meet with them face-to-face as well. And, yeah, that's just been building from there. And I just find that I keep getting amazing people coming into my life, and I just feel really lucky, to be honest.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so circling. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cough.
Don't die on me. This won't work.
It's like fine all day until I hop on Facebook or something. But okay, so you have this small community that you've been building over time. You have this message that you know that you want to share, and you hope that it changes someone else's life. And you have the deadline, and you send me the manuscript, and then we start the whole editing and publishing process. Mm-hmm. What was that like for you? Did you have any expectations, or were you just kind of rolling with it? Like, what was your perspective on the editing and publishing process?
Well, I think you and your team were amazing to start off with. My expectations, I just knew that it would work. I just had this feeling. I knew that I was connected with the right person, the right people, and my expectations were that we were going to get this book out. It was time, and it would flow. There would no doubt be hiccups along the way. I come from a marketing business background, and I've rolled out a lot of projects before in my time. So, I understand how the process works. I think that was a real helpful thing for me. But in saying that, I've never written a book and launched it before, so that was brand new. And, you know, I think I learned and you learned along the way, and we were both helping each other grow at the same time. And, you know, we had to tweak some stuff, had to do edits. And look, that's normal. It's normal if you get it right first shot. I don't know how is that possible? You don't want to.
I don't know, but I remember somehow we had the wrong dimensions on the book, and we had sent like 40 copies of the book to you in Australia, and you opened it up, and it was the wrong dimensions.
Yes, that's right. Oh my gosh.
I died, but you like rolled with it. I was so blown away. How did you? And we got it fixed, right? I mean,
totally. We made it all happen. We're down to the wire. I totally forgot about that.
That was like one of the most. I had to really tap on that one. That was like a traumatic moment for me. It was just like, oh, it's cool. Let's just send me another batch. And it was just like, oh. But how did you keep everything in perspective? Well, I mean, this is a brand new process for you. The book is your baby. You want it to be beautiful, but you're dealing with a team you've never dealt with. I'm so grateful that you trusted me the way that you did, but you've never dealt really with me on a major project either. It's what's your self-talk? What's your sort of like mental, emotional, I don't know, like how do you hold it together? Like how do you keep your cool in the midst of all of this craziness with the new project?
Yeah, that's it. You know, I totally forgot about that. How could I forget? That was crazy. I was like, I opened the book and I was like, oh shit. This isn't right. I opened the pages. I'm like, the inside of the pages were right, but it was just ginormous. And I'm like, this can't be right. And I'm like, I don't want to bug Morgan again with, you know, like we'd had some edits and you're like, I'm so sorry. And in my mind, I thought everything, you can figure it out. You know, mistakes happen all the time, and I knew that we could fix it. And I knew that we could make it happen. I just trusted it. I didn't think, it's the end of the world. I just thought, that sucks. And, you know, I've got, you know, a few copies of some real limited edition books there. They're the wrong size. Extra room to ride around, you know, when I'm signing the books. But, my self-talk was, okay, you know, it's not right. We'll get it fixed. You know, there's always a way. And if it, you know, maybe there was something else that needed to be fixed in that time. We might have picked up another edit in between as well, so we're able to fix that as well. And I think we did, actually. There was
I think so.
Something there. And it wasn't a word spelt wrong. It was just a word that we, I just remember it saying one thing and it should have meant another, so it was spelt differently. But, so I
want to say it was like overreactive. I think
it was
overactive, and we had to make it like overreactive or something like that.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. So I'm so grateful that was picked up. So,
So it did all work out.
We got through it. We did. And that's life.
It was a little down to the wire, but I guess in the end, like you get to decide whether there's a wire.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. Well, it actually, so I think we made that last edit, and then it was like 2 days before it went live, and I'd already spoken and let the community know that something exciting was happening. In fact, I told them, I think, that I'd written a book and you'd be finding out about it. Like, holy shit, we've got to get this sorted. Sorry to swear. But we got it there, and it was there, with the nick of time. So, and then it was launch.
Yeah. So launch went great. I mean, you hit number ones in US and Australia like no one's business. And what was that sort of like leading up to launch? What was your kind of perspective and moving on through it? Like, was it, I don't know, was it overwhelming? Was it more exciting? Was it kind of just a mishmash of all sorts of things? Like, what was your perspective there?
It was crazy and exciting and feeling anxious and just my energy on, especially on the Monday and Tuesday of the launch, was so high up. Like, it was just a ball of excitement, everything. I remember people ringing me, my family and everything. I'm trying to talk to them and make sense to them, and I just remember being so excited that they're trying to have a conversation with me, but I was just all, ooh. And I went to yoga on the Monday night. They're like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "It's okay. I've just become an international bestseller," and I just couldn't calm down. And it was, you're supposed to be all serious at this yoga, and I was just like, "Oh," but it was great. It really was, and the response was amazing. People were commenting from everywhere, and I think the best part was people downloading the book and reading it straight away, and then providing their feedback and just letting me know that, yeah, that really resonated with them and it made sense to them, and yeah, they loved the message, and that was the best part of it all, really. Yeah.
So you'd been like kind of holding this book tight to the chest for a little while, and then like the launch, you're like, oh, what are they going to think? But then once you start to get that feedback loop going and people are reading it and they're giving you the feedback, I remember your Facebook feed just like blew up that whole week. I mean, you had over 100 comments, I think, on at least one of those Facebook threads. So your people really showed up to support you. How'd you do that? How'd you get people to show up and support you like that?
I just know great people. They're awesome. No, I really do. And I think too, I'm not the kind of, I'm not always on Facebook. I don't share all the time. And I think most people know that about me. So, to put something out there, I think, they really took it on board and knew that it would be something that's really meaningful for me if I've put it out there as well. So, yeah, the support was amazing. And then getting the support from people who I'd never met before, who had also read the book, and that was just beautiful. And look, it's ongoing, and the book's there now. So people say, you've written a book. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yep. And then but it's still going, and it will always be out there in the world now, which is awesome.
So what's one thing you're doing to continue marketing the book? Because this launched like May or June of 2017.
Yeah, June. Yeah.
So it's been almost 6 months.
Yeah.
What have you done? I know. What have you been doing to continue to get the book's message out there?
Well, obviously social media, I put it out there. I keep in contact with people, but also meeting people face to face. I think that's not just face to face in person, but online as well, which has been great. And also I have a talk coming up as well, so I'll do a few more talks, which will be great. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. And it's an ongoing thing, because obviously writing a book is one thing, but also doing everything else within the business and also promoting the message in different ways is also just as important. So you mix it in with everything that you're doing, and yeah. Does that make sense? I think I'm making sense. Yeah,
ultimately, you are the bearer of the message. Like, Nereeda McInnes is the message, and you have like these different ways to get the message to people. So the book is sort of a long-term marketing asset, but you also have your content that you're putting on social media, the content you email out every week, the content that you give to clients one-on-one. And so like all of it's really the same message. And you just get to pick what medium you're going to use.
Yeah, totally. Well said. Yeah, absolutely perfect. You should be a writer.
I should have that writing. So, is there anything that shifted either in your business or the way you approach your message since putting out the book?
Anything that shifted? I think just as you do something that you've not done before, you believe in yourself more. And I think that's the case for everyone. And you realize that, you just, I don't know, has anything shifted? I think, you just believe that you can do something new each time. I'm someone who loves to learn and loves to grow. So, writing the book was one thing, but just doing the whole process with you guys and learning how to do it was another thing. And to me, I love all the aspects of learning, even the real shitty bits that aren't fun. They're the bits where that's where the gold is anyway, and that's where you learn the most. So, I think you just shift up to the next level in yourself because, you create your reality. So, created a reality with a book now. And it's like you said, it's another way of sharing my message with the world and what I believe is important and how powerful we all really are.
Yeah, absolutely. So who do you feel like is your ideal reader, or the person we all want our message to reach as many people as possible, but if you really had to pick someone who you thought this particular, game of life, learning how to relax into life and focus on abundance and gratitude and how the universe is supporting you, like, who do you really hope is getting this message from you?
I hope the people who are curious and who are questioning life, they're thinking, hang on a minute, there's something more. This can't just be it. It's almost like they're ready to wake up in a way that they haven't woken up before, or they're simply ready to dive deeper, but they may not know what it's about yet, or perhaps they've sort of been in personal development, spirituality, and they've tinkered in there and they know a bit about it, and they've read maybe complex books about it, or maybe they've haven't read a book in that realm before at all, but they're ready to get the message. And my intention with the book was just to remind people of how powerful that they are, and it's for those who really are ready to explore and really know that there's more totally. And everyone will get something different from the book. This is the thing. It's like a song. Two people can listen to a song and two people can get totally different feelings and messages from that song. And I think that's what the beauty of a book is. Everyone will take away what resonates with them. Some people will really relate to one chapter and one meaningful point so much more than another, and neither's right or wrong. And that's why I think books are just amazing. And you will get the message that you need at exactly the right time.
That's so true. I totally believe that. You met me right when I was just sort of beginning into like this concept of like thinking about the universe and abundance and just like sort of starting to think about spirituality, really. I mean, I come from a Christian background and I still am Christian, and I love my spirituality in that realm, but sort of like broadening it and thinking about the other ways in which we can really engage spirituality, like almost thinking about, I don't know, the cosmos and energy and exchange of energy and that sort of thing. So for me, it was a really great sort of almost overview intro of like, here's all the amazing ways that the universe is conspiring to help you create this amazing life. And I guess that's kind of what I walked away from with the book.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Good. So are you going to write another book, or is that still on the back burner for now?
I'll definitely write another book for sure. I don't know how many I'll write, but I'll definitely write another one. I have all these ideas. I think it's gurgling at the moment what comes next. I don't know. But, I have to. I love writing, and for me, it's how I make sense of the messages that come through to me. I just sort of blurt it all out on the keyboard. I would say a tip for writers, because I think you might have asked me that, is to always take notes, even if it's writing down on a notepad. I go back to my notebook that I had, 2 years ago. And I mean, I've got heaps. I'm sure you do as well, where you just handwrite and you've got a collection of them. Sometimes I just start one and then start another one because that's nicer, and then have to stick them all together. But anyway, if you've got ideas, just write them down so you don't forget them, because you'll come back to it. But I'm so glad I wrote that down. And there were some bits that sort of happened with me. So that was my tip. So I thought I'd just throw that one in.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, Nereeda, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your book with me and with all of us, and for really having the courage to put those words down onto paper and to hand them to other people. That's extremely, extremely courageous. So thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you so, so much.
You're welcome. And guys who are here with us, Michael and Marie and other folks who I can't see, and replay viewers, definitely thank you for being here. Leave a comment. We've got a link to Nereeda's book in the post text, so definitely grab it there. It's The Truth of Your Reality by Nereeda McInnes. You can buy it anywhere in the world. All right. Thank you so much. Y'all have a lovely evening. Thank you, Nereeda. And we will see you guys back around for another Behind the Book chat. Bye.